This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 991, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, and mogul, Derek Miner.
Hello there.
Jesse, I can't believe it. I had planned today to wear my Virginia is for Lovers t-shirt that I got at the Virginia Beach souvenir shop.
They had a lot of good merchandise in that shop, by the way.
Guys, when I was in Alaska, I thought about y'all because in one of the cities, it said, I don't remember which city it was, but it was a little sticker that I could have bought that said, like, I'm going to make this up, but it said, like, Skagway is for lovers. And I almost bought it because I was they're taking.
No.
I know, I just forgot. I was watching Whales, all the things. And I thought of you guys because I thought Jesse would be so offended by this.
That is so
offended.
Okay.
Dang. They trying to bite y'all style, bro. What you
we
gonna do about it?
We were walking back beachfront Virginia. We were after dinner. We were walking to the car, and we walked by this, typical beach souvenir store, over the top store.
Sensations.
And in the window was a Virginia's for Lovers apparel item,
and
Jesse was like,
Virginia's for Lovers section.
He's like, we need to pop in. Of course we need to pop in. So we went in there looking for a hat, didn't want the hat, got the t-shirt, love this t-shirt, it's a black t-shirt. And this was the weirdest store. Like after I left the Virginia's for Lovers section, looking around the other items that they had, Virginia's a weird place is all I'm saying.
Well, did you? I mean, we remember the seal with the person killing the other person.
I got a sticker of their state flag.
Mass murder.
I do have a sticker of their state flag. I bought that.
A topless person.
Yes.
Or is it a topless woman?
Just one one side.
A topless woman with a sword or something bludgeoning someone while standing on that person's chest.
She's bludgeoning tyranny. She is liberty, and she's bludgeoning tyranny.
And I'd like to say it's metaphorical, but it was an actual tyrant that she's bludgeoning to death. There's a dead body on the logo.
But Jesse, explain to me why your local beach shop, when you go to a beach shop here in Florida, they got the surfboards, the boogie boards, the beach towels, the t-shirts, the sunscreen, stuff like that.
Fair.
Your beach shop that we went into had swords. It had bongs. It had what else did it have? It had
bongs.
It had Trump t-shirts. It had.
It's lit.
It has some t-shirts that, let me just say this, are deeply, deeply politically incorrect.
Okay.
They have t-shirts that you can wear that will give your body numerous physiques with exaggerated proportions that look like it's on your body.
Yeah.
It's a family place, but only fun families, okay? Families that's like, all right, son, all right, family, we're going to go to the shop. Son, you're going to get a hermit crab and a sticker. I'm walking out with a katana blade, okay? That's because when you come here, you're coming to have a little fun, all right? If you want to go some stodgy beach shop that'll sell you bucket shells and some saltwater taffy, head down to South Carolina.
Speaking of South Carolina, have y'all ever road tripped on 95 ever? Have you driven I-95?
Oh, yeah.
East Coast?
Many a time.
There is this stop called South of the Border, and it is literally the first exit south of the North Carolina border. It's in South Carolina. It's called South of the Border. It's been there since probably the 30s, 40s, 50s. It started out as one of those roadside attractions and has just evolved over the years. It is like crazy. You see billboards, these places, you'll see billboards for like an hour leading up to it, right?
Right.
So Cohen and I pull over, like, oh, this is going to be epic. It was the saddest thing I've ever experienced. We were the only people there, first of all. This thing covered 40 acres of buildings, and we were the only people I could see. Yeah. Fireworks, illegal stuff, like really sad knockoff. We didn't buy anything, but anyway, I didn't know if y'all been.
Why you ain't buy something, man? You got.
It was like they had like bullwhips, and they had like a South of the Border mug that had names on it, and it said Jesus. I thought that was funny, but then I thought that might be racist, so I didn't buy it. Because it wasn't Jesus, Anyway,
well, so I went to
what?
It was like South of the Border, and it had like their mascot is a guy named Pedro, and he has a big sombrero and stuff. So I had a picture of that, and it said
pretty political
Jesus under it.
See, I was hoping that this wasn't gonna be that, but
no,
it
it's
is
that. I went in there about
so
15
bad,
years
dude.
ago on a road trip.
What?
I went in about 15 years ago on a road trip, and I felt like one of those early episodes of The Walking Dead where they roll through like a new town and have to pillage the empty shopping center. That's how basically south of the border was 15 years ago. Cameron, I'm surprised it wasn't just warded off at this point.
The whole theme, Derek, is that it's like
Are
Tijuana.
you
It's like
kidding?
knockoff south of the border Tijuana stuff, but it's in South Carolina. So it's a whole bunch of white people doing, and their mascot is named Pedro. So it's like Pedro's restaurant, Pedro this. And it's like stereotypical 1950s Mexican stuff.
But there's no one there named Pedro that
it's all
started
South
this shop
Carolinians.
and-
No,
Okay, yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying. We got there and it wasn't like funny, kitschy. It was like sad, and I think this is not okay, and so we left. But anyway,
Yeah, it's
What is going on?
yeah, no, oh, there you go. Jesse just forwarded you.
they do
south
have
of the
they
border.
do have a website now. I'm on the website, and I will say,
World famous.
It's an actual.
now, guys, I did just get 3 viruses.
Here,
Yeah.
hold on, I'm going to send you pictures. Click this link.
No,
this is
so
photos.
it's not like their mascot is not like an animal or something. Like
no, it's a man
Pedro.
named
It's
Pedro.
like
Look
an
at the pictures I
actual
just sent you.
man
Click on that. That's
named Pedro.
mhm.
And
as
they have
a
crocodiles
mascot.
that you can look. Are they live?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Okay.
they
What do you
just-
feel about that, Jesse?
That building was closed the day I was there. So I'm like, what are you doing with all the animals that are supposedly alive in there if nobody's in the building? You know what I'm saying?
Guys, just for the listeners, their celebration of the fireworks for over 50 years is a Mexican man sitting on a firework, riding the firework.
No.
And it's this might be one of the most racist places
That's
that
exactly
still
right.
exists. Like I can't think of this.
And now you're asking me why I
Wow.
didn't buy anything while I was there. I want
Okay,
no
I get it
evidence that we
now.
stopped. I want no evidence.
Yo, this may be the most racist place. This is a racist theme park,
Dude,
Like,
it's a racist theme park in South
it's a
Carolina.
racist theme park.
No, they have rides. They do have
They
a
have an
theme park.
observation tower that is
But-
a sombrero on top.
This is so racist.
Just problematic.
But wait a second. Pedro is wrapped in a rainbow flag though.
No, now
So-
he's wrapped in an American flag.
So
They
they
change
have
his-
him in different
Oh,
things
wow.
to show that they're inclusive, but racist, but inclusive, but racist.
Here's a curious little bit of trivia. I just navigated to a portion of the site called Pedro's blog, and
It's like
Now,
Creed
it
from The
appears-
Office.
Yeah, what does
appears-
Pedro think about this?
it appears Pedro had a gap in blogging from May 15th, 2019, but he kicked it back off on April 11th, 2022. So he had about a 3-year break, but he's back. He's blogging. So, it seems to be doing okay there, Cameron. I'm surprised you didn't have a great time because Pedro's blog got reactivated a few months ago after a 3-year break. And,
Dog.
he's got the spring and summer schedule updated too.
See, I thought, because Jesse and I, when we've traveled, like we will go put ourselves in situations that are just straight up kitschy because it's funny. We're in on the joke, even if the location isn't. Jesse and I road tripped up to the Creation Museum in Kentucky and whatever. We're in on the joke. We're having a good time, whatever. I thought that's what stopping us south of the border would be. I was so bothered when I was walking around like this needs to be left in the 1950s. This is not, society has progressed past this. This is not okay anymore. This is insane.
Maybe
But
South Carolina has not progressed.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
South Carolina.
I don't know.
I like South Carolina. Got some cool people. I got some really good homies from South Carolina. But hey, y'all need to y'all gotta blow this place up. Like you can't even like stop. Like it has to be exploded, like dynamite and all that, and it just blows up.
Hey, South Carolina does
like a
have cool
mushroom
people because
cloud.
after my son and I were bothered by this, we got back in the car and went to the next exit, which there was a big old Buc-ee's. Have you ever stopped at Buc-ee's?
Yeah, Buc-ee's
They
lit.
got those all through Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Buc-ee's
So
lit.
there's Buc-ee's all up and down the East Coast now. It's come from Texas over. And we stopped at all these Buc-ee's. Is great. They had charging stations and, great food and all the stuff. Fantastic restrooms. Anyway, South Carolina Buc-ee's, next exit from south of the border. I'm sitting there looking at the popcorn. and a guy comes up and says, "Hey, are you Cameron Strang? I listened to the podcast."
Aw.
And we sat there and chopped it up for a few minutes. He's Henry. So thanks for saying hi, Henry. He lives up there in North South Carolina. So there's some good
Did
people
you
around.
ask him why he hasn't demolition the south of the border?
I did say, like, have you been one exit out from
What
me? He's
was
like,
his
he
response?
just kind of shook his head. He's like, yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's not. That's not.
Henry, I just believe if you plant it, yeah.
I just want you to tell me
that
that a sweet man named Pedro and his family 70 years ago started this from the ground up, and look what they've done. That's what I want to hear.
Nope.
No.
Kind of been lost to history. Yeah, but again, I would encourage you, Jamie, to jump in the blog comments. It's wildly active right now. Well, I don't know when the next time he's going offline, but it appears that Pedro has about 3-year cycles, and so you might be able to get up with him.
Got it.
All right, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talked to Jenn Johnson. You know her as a worship leader. She is now the head of Bethel Music. So we talked to her about her new music and her new era and all that. It's exciting. Stay tuned for that. Also, at the end of the show, we have a game that Tyler just wrote, and I know nothing about it. So if we have time, we will get to that as well. But stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
With our feet in the sand, we can do whatever you like. We won't make any plans. No, 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 no. And I know it's not a race, but I'll pick up the pace if you give me a taste of you. Is there something I could do to get you in the mood? It's not like we have much to lose. How would you feel if we did something real? Back your Polaroid film.
You're listening to Caden. The song is Polaroid Film. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right. I know a lot of our listeners, maybe at a time in life, we've coming out of what they call the Great Resignation, where a lot of people have left their jobs looking for something else, something a little bit more fulfilling. Well, I've got good news for
girls
you.
I dated have resigned from our relationship.
Whoa.
The Great Resignation.
Whoa.
Anyway, there is for anyone, no matter what they're going through, career or relationship wise, this could be appealing because
Okay.
it's a Canadian candy warehouse but you don't have to live in Canada. You can work from home, or if they have offices in Newark and Toronto as well, but they're taking work from home. The position is Chief Candy Officer. And it pays pretty well. Pays nearly $100,000 a year. And your job as the CCO, the Chief Candy Officer, you'll have to try, quote, this is in the actual LinkedIn, thing, quote, at least 3,500 snacks a month and give them your rankings. So this job is quite literally to eat candy all day long.
How do you not get diabetes?
You
Or
know,
vomit.
It's a hazard.
How do you not
of the
gain
career.
1,700 pounds?
Hazard of the career.
Again?
Well, I guess just like a taste. Like you're not eating the whole bag.
Yeah, but,
right? You
but
just have
think
to
about-
taste it.
Yeah, but 3,500 bites a month is just.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. Now some of the
Is it
some
like
of the,
wine tasting where you spit out into a spittoon, maybe?
Oh, you could do that.
they didn't really get into the nuances of how much actually have to be, fully consumed. But you're tasting a significant amount of candy every single month. The stipulations are no food allergies. They state that very clearly. So on paper, this sounds like an incredible job. And, you also are going to be required to do some social media posting. It also sounds like one of the most deadly job in the world. Like how long could you possibly last in this position before you're fully diabetic or just fall over from cardiac arrest? But I did feel like our listeners, we've done candy talk here in the past. This is pretty big news in the world of, arguably the biggest job in the world of candy has just opened up. So if anyone's looking for a career and likes candy, you will have to eat. It comes out, on an average month. That's over 100 pieces of candy a day, 3,500 a month. So,
Jesse, I just did a little math.
Yeah.
A typical bag of plain M&Ms contains 56 candies.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to have 63 bags of M&Ms a month.
Oh,
That makes me sick.
Wait, that's just 2 a day.
That's
2
a lot of
bags.
candy. 2 bags.
Like the little convenience store bags.
I don't
There's people
know.
who eat 2 bags of candy in a workday, like little morning snack, afternoon snack.
significant.
I'm not saying I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like
A lot
interesting.
of candy in a month.
A lot of candy. So where do they go to apply or anything? I mean,
You just look at Candy Funhouse.
Candy Funhouse.
Yeah, they're on LinkedIn, or you can go to candyfunhouse.ca because they're in Canada. Which huge red flag. Huge red flag for me. I don't
Canadian
go to any
candy.
.ca.
That's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Canadian candy is way more
that's
potent.
a significant
Yeah.
red flag. It's mostly going to be cowtails and gross stuff like that. So you should just know.
Cowtails. What are you talking
Gross.
about? It's all maple flavored. I was like, I was going,
it's heavy maple candy.
Yeah.
a lot of Werthers and things like that. That just people.
Derek, you have a sweet tooth. You could do it.
Yes. No.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
He's like, I'm not
So when it comes to candy, I'm a very specific candy person.
Okay.
Like I just really like one type of candy, and it's really like
What?
gummy bears or like Sour Patch Kids, stuff like that. Like, but I don't the whole wide array of candy. Nah, I'm good. Like you can keep caramel candies. You can keep like most of those other candies.
There's a candy shop at south of the border. It's next to the fireworks shop. You could go in there. There's a lot of selections.
Gross.
Really weird southern candies.
I would not even stop at south of the border to use the bathroom. Like this, so whatever they have, they can keep it.
I feel like the market, this is true, the market's going to correct itself because we stopped at south of the border, which again, tons of money on billboards. They're really promoting it almost like it's a tourist attraction. Not one other person we didn't see one other person other than, cashiers. And then we go one exit down to Buc-ee's, packed.
It was packed.
Thousands of people.
Buc-ee's the real attraction in South Carolina.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
we
Like,
really rocking with Buc-ee's.
okay, the fact that a brand new Buc-ee's just opened up one exit away, any hope that south of the border was going to catch the bathroom people, we need to just stop.
It's not happening.
They're stopping at Buc-ee's. So
It's because their
I think
mascot
this-
is a beaver and not like a man named
person?
Beaver.
Problematic.
Come on.
Yeah.
anyway, all right, what do you have, Jamie?
Okay. Jesse, you're not on Instagram. Am I right about that?
I lurk. I'll say
You
that.
lurk.
lurker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Derek and Cameron, I know that you're on Instagram. I love Instagram. Well, you may have seen the outrage recently over some ways that Instagram had changed some of their analytics and some people got upset. Here's the 2 things I did not know. So a lot of people saw this and people came out and said, no, keep Instagram, and they're wanting to prioritize videos because of TikTok. Like TikTok is just everyone's watching TikTok. And so they tried this. But what I didn't know was that this Make Instagram again little rally and cry, it was started by Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian. So I didn't know that.
Praise the Lord.
It's actually
They
not
start-
true.
Thank you.
It started earlier in the evening, and then they saw it and then reposted it, and that's when it exploded. But they're the ones that made it a national
Whether
thing.
they started it or not.
Yeah.
They're the
Thank
ones that
you,
caused it to
Kim
go
and
crazy.
Kylie.
Yeah,
We
that's right.
appreciate you.
That's right.
they caused it to go crazy and with the outcry. And so Instagram kind of pulled back and learned their lesson a little bit. But here's the deal. Instagram saying, hey, we are going to have to move forward with some changes at some point because TikTok is dominating everything. And so I think they're just trying to figure out what do the users want and what do they not. But I didn't know this is that because of they've had a revenue decline over the last quarter because of Apple's app tracking transparency to the tune of $10 billion.
Crazy.
Wow.
So I don't blame Instagram for trying to figure things out. But
What's that? But here's the thing. That's Instagram's fault.
Yeah.
Like you made the algorithm so restrictive that I only saw 2 people that I follow.
I hate it.
And the rest were all ads. So TikTok is just like, hey, we don't care about trying to make you pay for whatever. Like, you know what? And at the end of the day, you do have to pay even on TikTok to get a little traction. But it's like Instagram, you got too greedy.
Yeah.
Like, man, I want to be able to at least, even if you don't show me all the people I follow, at least let me see the most recent 50 people or whatever. Like, I don't want my whole timeline to be ads and like I remember for one season, I only saw 3 people's posts.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about I would see posts from them from like weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you just like, yo, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, so it's their fault. If you wanted to go back, just go back to the old Instagram where you could post a picture and if people liked it, hey, guess what? You get more traction on the app.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We like it.
And if they've lost $10 billion in revenue and are still profitable, I think that shows maybe they were getting a little greedy.
Maybe
A little greedy.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, but shareholders, there's no such thing. I
Yeah.
mean, they want continually growing returns forever, so they have to get greedy. But we've been talking about this a lot on our team because this affects us and a lot of people. I think it's interesting. So I'm one of the few people who their feed changed, the interface changed. So when I would log into Instagram, they went full screen and it looked exactly like TikTok. Like it was indistinguishable. Like I didn't know what app I was in. And
Wow.
and so they were and so that was, he was like, his first announcement, the CEO of Instagram was like, you know, we're testing this on a small number of people and whatever. And then when they, you know, they were changing the interface as well as changing the algorithm. And so when the Kardashians posted the whole make Instagram again, it was like, he announced the next day, like, okay, we're going to roll back that interface change because not just like the public outcry, but like our initial data even said that usage went down for the people who had this interface, which same.
Right.
I was on Instagram way less those days and it was just frustrating and everything was video. I mean, it was like 95% video in my feed and maybe one static image. And so people like the Kardashians, which are all about the manicured photos and stuff. And that's how they built their empire. They're not sitting there trying to vlog and just hold up their camera and do a loose, like talking to the cam type vibe. They want a very manicured, elevated, luxury type aesthetic. And they can't do that on the TikTok type thing. And so all of a sudden they're going to lose their empires because Instagram decided to chase TikTok. So it's interesting to me that it was affecting their money. So they're the ones who are crying foul. And so now all of a sudden because my thing, even before the Kardashian thing, that first couple of days when it changed, we were talking on our staff and I'm going, for the content we create, we have designers and writers. I don't want, as a brand, I don't want our content to be one of our staff members holding up a phone and just talking like a TikTok. Like, there's a place for that. That's more like stories or whatever for us. But like, we want to put out premium content that's curated and created. And all of a sudden, if Instagram's going to TikTok and video, there's no place for photographers, designers, or anybody else to create anything. And like, that was a problem for me just looking down the barrel here. It's just like, what are we going to do? And so what stinks about his announcement that they're changing things back is he just said, we're pulling back and we're going to reassess, but we're going this direction. Like you said, Jamie, we are going this direction. TikTok has changed the game and we change it or die. And so there really will be no place for the old Instagram or the Kardashians or brands or anybody that like, or content creators that don't want to hold up a video camera to themselves. Like there's no place for them anymore because Instagram will go this direction, whether it's last week or 2 months from now. They said we're just slowing down, but we're going. But
I think another thing, like, I think if Instagram would just make the algorithm more favorable, how it was, like, cause that's the thing about TikTok. TikTok's algorithm is really, really favorable. And I think most people went to TikTok not because they wanted to start a whole new platform. I know a lot of people that were comfortable with Instagram, but they left Instagram and said, well, I got to do 3 posts a day on TikTok. I'll at least get a chance to get some virality with my posts. So I just feel like if Instagram, they really created the monster of TikTok because you ran a lot of your users off to a different platform. Now they've built, sizable platforms on TikTok. Them coming back, I don't know.
Yeah.
The video thing I get, I just go like if Instagram's going to throw out, like their whole thing was we want to support creators. And again, how many business empires have been started because of Instagram? Kardashians are case in point. And there's no place for them anymore. Like that's going to be a problem from just a business perspective, or like launching things perspective, that there's only one lane now. And it's like a vertical video of me doing something to get your attention in 7 seconds. I mean, that's just not what the other thing was. Yeah. And so I'm just kind of like,
they missed the opportunity to stay themselves. Like in this time to it's like the change you needed to make wasn't actually
format.
What you
was
were doing.
algorithm.
It was algorithm. Yeah. It's just stop being greedy. That's literally what you needed to do. It's like, oh wow, their algorithm's really favorable. Let us pull it back, as opposed to saying, well, let's keep this really restrictive algorithm and go just like TikTok. So we're going to be an even more restrictive version of something else.
Well, and Cameron, to your point earlier, I mean, Jack Dorsey's talked about this, about why he wish there was never a Twitter IPO, because he feels like being beholden to shareholders forces them to push, changes to the functionality to increase profitability, even if it doesn't serve the long-term future of the product or the customer base. I mean, like I said, he's wanted to take it back private because he feels like it is the nature of having a publicly traded company that's forcing a lot of these platforms to make features that don't serve users.
Well, I mean, when a lot of these tech startups are private, like Uber or any of the other ones, and they're going in to get market share or get a lot of users, they're burning investor money to just get a customer base, right? We're going to buy up market share and disrupt. So they're going to do lower prices, or they're going to do something that's going to disrupt the establishment. And so like Instagram and others, like we're disrupting Facebook. Well, obviously Facebook ended up buying Instagram, but so TikTok comes in and is disrupting. But what's going to inevitably happen is, as everybody then moves over and the established companies crumble and we're all now using Uber, what do? Well, they went public because they've got all this potential and market share. So they go public. Now they got shareholders they got to answer to. So they're not burning money anymore. Now they got to make money. So what do? Everybody's using Uber. All competitors had to go away because they undercut them. And now they raise their prices. And now Uber's unaffordable. Well, the same thing's going to happen. That's what happened with Instagram, right? We're all there, creators, and it's whatever. And then all of a sudden now they got to make money. And so now advertising became the primary. Well, everybody's going to go over to TikTok. Yes, I know it's a Chinese owned company, but the same thing's ultimately going to happen with TikTok too, because they're going to have to make money at some point, or more money. And so it's like, can we just all like, is the end goal here going public? Is the end goal just like commoditizing eyeballs? Because like, can we just create
for a lot of
platforms?
Startups, it is though. For a lot of startups,
yeah, I know, but I'm saying like, is there like, can't we just keep something private where it can be profitable, but it doesn't have to then change because it's successful? To me, success is what's the problem, is that it gets too successful and then it has to make even more money, and they keep changing things. I saw a TikTok last night, ironically, where the dude was being like, I forget what he said TikTok was. It's like the new platform. And he said Instagram is now Facebook, and Facebook is for dead people. That's what he said. And I mean, Instagram is getting passe the way Facebook got passe, So it'll be interesting. All right, Derek, what do you got?
So, over under on how many calls you get about extended warranty during the week.
I don't answer it. If it's not in my contact list, I don't answer the phone.
Listen, I get them all and I take them up on every offer. My warranties for every major appliance is extended in perpetuity, and it's what a deal. I get calls about these.
Not
all the
answering
time.
those calls.
I answer it.
Well, here's a beautiful thing that's going to happen. I keep my phone on silent because of all the calls.
Same.
Like literally, I just get so many calls, and it's like, yes, unknown number. it's a wrap for you. Well, the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, has ordered phone companies to stop carrying traffic related to robocalls about scam auto warranties. So the FCC said no more. They told the phone companies no more. And here's another thing. They started with somebody named Roy Cox Jr. So most of our calls are coming from like one or two people. Roy Cox Jr., Aaron Michael Jones, and related companies and associates. They said since 2018, over 8 billion would be unlawful pre-recorded calls went to Americans from this group of people. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's like mind blowing.
So I don't know how this works. They sell you something, but then it's a scam and they keep your money.
I guess
That's
it's
the point?
like I guess they're like warranties, but they're not really good warranties.
Okay.
They're like probably have some sort of loopholes or whatever in there.
I never inquire about the quality of the warranty, just knowing I have it. And I call these people back too to ask them questions. And it's
got a few questions about this scam warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much more than just warranties. It's like, why did they just pick that one thing? Can't they just eliminate robocalling? Like, just make that illegal? Because it's during the political season. Yeah. I mean, it's
I literally just this is awesome, but this is prime example. I literally just got a text from some random. I don't know what it is, but they said unusual activity. We've suspended your Amazon account due to unusual activity. And then they give this fake login attempt and say it's from Russia. And they want me to click this link.
Hey, Derek, click it, but have your social ready because they're going to want that. They're very helpful.
You don't want to go looking for that. Just have it ready.
Have it top of mind because they're going to ask you a lot of very personal questions, including what was your first car?
Man, we get
like
spam in our DMs. I get spam on my DMs. I get spam on my text. I get spam phone calls, spam emails. I'm like, man, God, I'm exhausted, y'all.
I'm literally on the Federal Trade Commission's do-not-call.gov website, putting my cell phone number on the do-not-call.
It doesn't matter. I've been on it.
It doesn't matter.
They
it doesn't
still
work.
going to do it. It doesn't
work.
matter. It doesn't work.
They just make it illegal. Make it illegal.
I agree.
Anyway, all right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Jenn Johnson joins us.
I'm on my knees, don't you dare come and dance with me. Oh, can't you see I'm grooving alone? As long as I pose, I don't care if you're next to me. Pose 1, pose 2, pose 3. I'm on my knees, don't you dare come and dance with me. Oh, can't you see I'm grooving alone? As long as I pose, I don't care if you're next to me. It's raining hard on the outside. I'm moving on the inside. Moving on the inside. The windows cracked so the outside can move.
You're listening to Michelle. The song is Pose. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold.
Well, our guest today is Jenn Johnson. You know her as one of the lead worship singers at Bethel, but you may not know she's recently taken over as CEO of Bethel Worship Music. She sat down with our very own downtown Emily Brown to talk about the future of Bethel, as well as the future of the worship industry, and why it's important for all of us to get back to the simple basics. Here's our conversation with Jenn Johnson.
I love your voice. You will lead me through the fire, and in darkest night, you were close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God, yeah. And all my life you
I am really excited to talk to you about the exciting changes coming to Bethel Music now that you are taking over.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Can you kind of tell me how that came to be and why change now?
Yeah. So we started Bethel Music a million years ago, feels like. Brian and I took over were handed the worship department at Bethel in 2000. And, we were just stewarding what God was doing with songs and people, and it started to grow. And we actually went with another record label a long time ago, just to, with what was happening. And they ended up, going bankrupt. So we were like, well, a lot of the industry, was the demand for artists, what it made you live your life on the road, and, just seeing what it did with families, just not for the good. We knew there had to be a better way to steward what was the songs and the travel, and stay local and connected to a local church, have healthy families and marriages. And so we just knew there had to be a better way. And that's why we started Bethel Music, however many years ago we did together, Brian and I, and then one of his friends named Joel. And so that we met actually during the recording of our first album in 2001. And so it was just a natural progression. And I've always been a really vital part to kind of everything that we're doing. And Brian and I both together. But it's got to be maybe a year ago now, Brian really felt like he needed to step down as president. And a natural transition, even in our conversation, I didn't want to do it, but I just asked the Lord, what are we doing here? Because if it's not him or me, I don't know how, or what. So, and God just spoke to me very clearly that I need you to do this. And so I was like, you got it, Lord. So I took the position as president, and I was working with with Joel, who has been our CEO for a long time, and our team, and wild few years, obviously with COVID and all the things, and we've watched God do a lot of really beautiful things, even though it's been a really difficult few years for all of us in different ways. But then our CEO actually he wrote us this beautiful letter, and he felt like for this next season that he was actually supposed to hand the leadership of the whole thing to me. And so another huge transition, so, and then him and his family moved to Nashville. And so again, I just went before the Lord, like, okay, I can do this president thing, but like CEO, I don't know, And so our team are so incredible that even though it's been a lot of change and transition, it really does feel natural in a lot of ways. And I've just watched our team kind of step up to the bat to help and bring people around us to kind of fill in all the spots where I'm inadequate for sure, but really feeling the Lord in all of it.
I am the Lord your God. I go before you now. I stand beside. I'm all around you. Though you're feeling far.
So, you mentioned you kind of have like some visions or some changes for Bethel Music. So is there anything you can maybe tell us, like that you're hoping comes in this next season, or you want to come in this next season?
Yeah. I really feel like a simplification is the word. A lot of times with so much growth and just trying to steward so many things that God was doing and happening and people coming, and we kind of got really big but needed to prune a lot of things and weren't able to kind of manage and keep up on all the things we were doing in a big way. And so I'm really watching the Lord prune a lot of things. And a lot of times when you do prune a tree, it kind of almost looks naked for a little bit. You're like, oh gosh, this looks ugly. We have this fig tree in our front yard that we like pruned back to like, it looked dead until the next season came around. And now it's like, you'd never even know that it was pruned so heavily, And so that's just very much why I think God started the whole Bible with a garden, is because it takes intentionality and growth and life. But it takes a lot of pruning and weeding, right? So I think it's been a big season of that, just really kind of getting back to the simplicity of we're a worship movement. We've always been a worship movement. We started in worship. I love every genre of music. I love that our writers and our artists are writing for all those. I love it all, country, R&B, every bit of it. But we are a worship movement at heart. And so just making sure that everything that we're doing is really coming from that place, and that's our foundation of which we're doing everything from. We believe in the songs that carry the power of God, the power of the word, and just that honesty. And then we also believe in the power of the presence of God in meetings, where people are encountering him for themselves, and that we're really stewarding what God's doing in the room as well. So the mission and the assignment have always been the same. Write songs to change the world and let people encounter Jesus, and bring them and create beautiful spaces and moments where people can come at our local church or on the road and encounter God for themselves. So I'm fired up. We really feel called to, in this next year, do a lot for children and also for young adults. I'm 40 this year. And so a lot of the music that, I feel like we put out is kind of for that 30 plus crowd, but we really feel passionate to speak to the children and the young adults. And so sonically, even just digging into what that sounds like to be relevant and current to that both of those generations. I have a 2-year-old and a 20-year-old. And everywhere in between with our 6 kids. So just really feeling the heart of the Lord to speak to all generations and all nations. And so just excited to see what he's going to do this next year with us for those things as well.
So we sing, come alive in the name of Jesus. Come alive in the name of Jesus. This is a house of miracles. We bring everything to the feet of Jesus. Everything in the name of Jesus. This is a house of miracles.
I love what you're talking about, this whole simplicity of worship. I feel like definitely like over the last few years, there has been a lot of really great like hype and kind of like this excitement built up into it. But I've always loved just like simple, like very simple worship. It's always been really sweet. So do you think, obviously that's kind of the move that Bethel Music's going. Do you think that's something that the worship industry in general will be going towards? Or you have so much more insight into the worship industry. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think that, I think it's all beautiful. I really do. I think that, worshiping in a stadium with thousands and thousands of people is just stunning. It's this glimpse of heaven of, the great cloud of witnesses that you get to see, But we also started this Bible study with our kids, and it's just the most honest thing. It's like our kids who they know they're real, like you can't pull anything on them. No smoke, no nothing is gonna, do anything for them. They've seen it all. And so just our kids and their friends just to lead a couple songs and just worship very honest, in our home has just felt so beautiful. And then local church, we've been serving at the same church for 24 years, I think now, maybe 25 for Brian. And, when you do the same thing week after week, it can get old sometimes, but for us, like it still feels so fresh. Like I burn for the local church and the expression of that for what it means for a community of believers, and also what it means for the lost to have a place to come in and encounter God in just a really beautiful setting. And so I appreciate it all. I appreciate Christian music and worship music both. I was raised a CCM and worship junkie. So yeah, I don't think there's one way that God is moving. I know for us, even through COVID, the simplification, even having my book come out during that time that I'd written it before the world went into COVID, I signed my book deal. And so writing the book through COVID of what matters and getting back to the basics and, knowing what's going on in your heart, in your life, and in your home and in your body, and just those simple things that we sometimes can overlook in the rush and the wildness of life, that just can't be ignored in those quiet moments. And so, back to your question, I feel like God is doing so much on the earth in music and in us as humans. It's a wild time to be alive, really, with social media and navigating that. We have never needed the Holy Spirit more, I think, than now. But we have him, and he's available to lead us and guide us in his word and by his spirit. So I think we just have got to cling to it. We've got to cling to the word of God. We've got to really ask God to speak to us and not go by public opinion or anything men would say, or women and women, anybody would say, or do. We really have to be led by the Holy Spirit for our lives and what's right for our lives, according to the word of God. So I think it's a challenging time, but I'm just reminded that we were born for such a time as this. You, me, everybody on the planet. God knew exactly what he was doing to put us here, and we're not overwhelmed, and it's not too much. And just like he parted waters back in the day, him speaking to us and getting us through 2022 is just as relevant, and he's able to do it.
That was Jenn Johnson. Make sure to check out her stuff and all Bethel stuff. It's great. It's great worship. Hey, make that part of your routine. You need to listen to that stuff. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Tyler's Game. I don't even know what we're doing. Here we go. Stay tuned.
Was I in the moment? Or have I lost my mind? Keep me in a daydream. All I have left behind. Just the thought of being used leaves me broken and confused. If I had the strength to choose, just the thought of being used.
You're listening to Kid Bloom. The song is I Fell in Love Again. Okay, it's time for Antisocial. Okay, again, this is Tyler literally just dropped this game in our rundown while we've been recording. So I don't even know what antisocial means, but here's his intro. After weeks of mounting complaints and online bullying, Instagram finally announced that it'll be rolling back a series of changes intended to invade TikTok's space. The photo sharing app was planning to move more towards video. Clearly, Tyler did not hear Jamie's slice. He's recapping her slice, basically. It's another evolution in the social media landscape, and it was a big one. The online world is rocked by seismic changes every year, but there are also smaller changes, some so tiny you barely notice them. From Yik Yak to Vine to Hipstamatic, the social media grave is littered with the headstones of good ideas, and in some cases, ideas that weren't quite good enough. In this game, you'll be given 3 defunct social media apps. One of them is real. The others are not. You must determine which is the actual failed social media app. There you go. Okay, here we go. Jesse, you're up first. Here's your 3. Drip, a posting site that allowed single word updates. Gleek, a social media site for social media tech workers. Gleek. Or Don't Stay In, a site for nightclubbers only. Don't Stay In. Which is the real one?
I feel like nightclubbers have long been overdue for their own social media platform. I'm going to go Don't Stay In.
That's correct. That is the real one. It did not make it. Don't Stay
I can
In.
picture the guys from Night at the Roxbury just, checking in.
Checking out the scene at the different clubs.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Derek, you're up. Here's your 3. Friend Feed, a social media site that will aggregate all your other social media sites into one platform. Glance, a photo sharing site that regularly auto-posts from an approved library on your photo roll. Or Magic Carpet, a social media site for travelers that utilize Google Earth to connect users not just to each other, but familiarize them with their communities. Friend Feed, Glance, or Magic Carpet, what's the real one?
I'm going Glance for lazy content creators.
That is incorrect. The real one was Friend Feed, a social media site that aggregates all your other social media sites into one platform. It sounds like Wolf from The Office. Anyway, all right, Here we go. Jamie, you're up. Here's your 3. Industry, a LinkedIn competitor that allowed employers to swipe left or right on potential job candidates, similar to dating app software. Petter, a social media site specifically for pets. Or GoodWiz, a site that matched users both romantically and platonically using games. Industry, Petter, or GoodWiz? What was the real one?
Petter is so weird. I'm going to go with the industry one.
No, the real one was GoodWiz, that you got to get matched by using games. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I look for when I'm looking to find a new romantic partner, or somebody that is really good at Scrabble, just
play games with. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Jesse. Keek, a video sharing site where updates were exclusively videos called Keeks. High Five, a posting site for men having a tough time making friends in their 30s. Blimped, a social media site for hoagie and sub sandwich enthusiasts. Keek, High Five, or Blimped?
I mean, I hope all of these are true, and I would join the blimp one. But I feel like the biggest felt need. It's like that Man Park sketch a few weeks ago on SNL.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the one for High Five. High Five.
The correct answer is Keek, a video sharing site where updates are exclusively videos called Keeks.
That don't sound right, y'all. Am I the only person that don't sound right?
I don't know why, but it sounds like a red flag to me.
Yeah, shocker, it didn't make it. Hey, did you see my Keek?
Oh.
Right, yeah, that don't ring right. That ain't hitting right, y'all.
Okay, Derek. Parker, an app for parkour fans to share their latest tricks and spots to practice with data encrypted to keep police at bay. Renner, a site for fans of the actor Jeremy Renner to stay in touch and up to date on the latest Jeremy Renner movies. Or Tiara, a social site for fans of the royal family to connect and share thoughts about the latest in the Crown drama. Parker, Renner, or Tiara?
I'm going Tiara.
The real one is Renner, the site for fans of the actor Jeremy Renner.
No.
Yeah, it's it's the 4th biggest social media site in the world, actually. Very, very popular.
All right, Jamie, here we go.
Dang, I'm sleep on Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
I didn't know he was popping like that.
All right, Jamie, you're up. Here we go. Meez, MEEZ, an early virtual reality world in which users built an avatar and walked around interacting with other me's. That's what they called each other. King Me, one word, a dating site exclusively for wealthy men to connect with women of all economic backgrounds. King Me. Or Cart, a shopping app where users could swap clothing, household goods, or other items. Me's, King Me, or Cart?
I have real problems with King Me, but that's another story for another day. I'm going to go with the shopping cart one.
No, me's. A virtual world where people walked around interacting with other me's. There you go.
It's the metaverse.
All right, this is the final round. Here we go. Jesse. Flipper, an app for whale watching addicts to connect, share their favorite videos, and spots for great whale watching. Swifty, an app for Taylor Swift fans to swap messages and post fan theories about who Taylor's dating and the hidden messages in her songs. Or Makeout Club, one word, an app for indie music fans to connect for friendship or romance. Flipper, Swifty, or Makeout Club?
I gotta go with Swifty. I feel like her fans, this is something they need in their lives.
The real app is Makeout Club, an app for indie music fans to find romance and friendship. There you go.
One of the arguably the saddest of all social media sites, but yeah.
Derek, you're up. Perfect, a site where users don't like selfies, but instead give them a grade on a scale of fail to perfect. Perfect. ScuddyPad. ScuddyPad, a social media site designed for children ages 6 to 11. ScuddyPad, or Help Out, one word, a social media site that connects people in financial, emotional, or mental need to nonprofits and charities offering cheap and free services. Perfect, ScuddyPad, Help Out.
I'm just gonna hope Help Out was no
Yes,
one. So
we're
Help Out.
hoping.
That is not real, but we should launch it. ScuddyPad is the real one. It's a social media site for kids. That is a terrible idea.
Well, that's good. Helping
Okay.
kids out. Helping kids, you know what I'm saying? That's good.
Yeah, because kids need to be posting selfies and have self-esteem issues
Exactly.
at 6 years old.
Oh no, I thought it was like helping with their homework.
No,
No,
a
it was
social
their
media
own
site
little
designed
social
for
media.
children. Yeah, their own little social media world. Anyway,
Oh, that's awful.
yeah.
Where the predators show up.
Sorry, I thought that they were just helping them
Stresses
with
me out.
schoolwork.
No.
Oh, wait,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, in the era we live in now, somebody could do a ScuddyPad tweet and then quote Derek Minor. Oh, that's cool. Like,
yeah.
Oh no, I am not on ScuddyPad. I'm not with ScuddyPad. ScuddyPad just. I'm glad it failed.
It did fail. All right, last one. Jesse's got one. You can tie it. Here we go. Hitcher, a social media app for hitchhikers. That actually kind of makes sense. iGroove, one word, a site for musicians and wannabe musicians to easily create and share their own music videos. Or BachelorPad, one word, a site for former Bachelor contestants to stay in touch that eventually opened up to Bachelor fans on an invite-only basis. Hitcher, iGroove, or BachelorPad.
Unfortunately, I think BachelorPad might have actually happened, but I'm going to go with the Hitchhikers. I think that the Hitchhikers have their own little app.
iGroove is the real one, a site for musicians and wannabe musicians to make cheap music
Sheesh.
videos. I'm telling you, there's a reason why these things failed, but that Help Out one, Tyler, you might have gotten tapped into something there. Help Out, social media site. All right. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Jenn Johnson for joining us today. Make sure to go check out all the great stuff they're doing over at Bethel Worship. Big fans. Also, while you're checking stuff out, check out relevantmagazine.com. We are publishing great content every weekday throughout the day. So it just bookmark it. Make it part of your web browsing. Also, while you're there, make sure to check out Relevant Plus. You can get an enhanced edition of our digital magazine. You get unlimited ad-free viewing or reading at the website. You get an edition of this podcast that's ad-free and early released. You get an exclusive subscriber podcast that's ad-free. Ad-free. That's the name of the game with Relevant Plus. Plans start as low as $250 a month. Go check it out. We love the support, and I think you'll like it. Also, while you're at relevantmagazine.com, make sure to check out our weekly daily devotional series, Deeper Walk. It's presented by Lumo. There's a morning devotional email you can sign up for every morning, or you can just check out that day's entry over at the faith section on our website. Last thing, if you like this show, tell us. Leave a review and rate it wherever you listen, whether it's Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever it is. We love the feedback, and it helps the algorithm make other people discover the show. Do it. If you don't like the show, keep it to yourself. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Derek Minor.
We'll see you next week. Have a great one.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
You know, it's a family place, but only fun families.
Relevant Podcast Network.